Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be learning about multiplying and dividing polynomials. If you haven't watched my video about polynomials, you should watch that one first so this video makes more sense. Without further ado, let's just head on straight into the video. So firstly, let's go over the different parts of a polynomial. So let's say we have 14x squared y squared. In this case, the coefficient the coefficient will always be the number before the variables. So in this case, it's 14. And those two are the variables, and they can have exponents or without exponents. Watch my video about exponents also so this video makes more sense. So let's go ahead and take 14x squared y squared divided by 2xy. So we want to break this problem down. We want to put all the like terms together. So in this case, we have 14 and 2. Those are the numbers, the coefficients, and we're going to divide those and divide all the like terms. We have x squared divided by x, and then y squared divided by y. But how are we going to find out what those are equal to? So x squared divided by x, it's the imaginary one that we don't see, and we subtract the two exponents. So when we divide, we subtract the exponents of the variables to get the answer, and then we just divide 14 divided by 2 like we normally would, and we get 7 times x times y, which is 7xy. Now let's take another problem. 36 f to the 5th power t to the 6th power 9 f t to the 6th power. So as I said before, we're going to go ahead and take the coefficients and all the like terms. So the like terms here are 36 and 9, 4, f to the 5th, f, t, 6, and t to 6. So if we just put those all and we divide all of them individually, all the like terms, we will end up with all of this broken down like so. Then 36 divided by 9 is 4. And remember, when we're dividing the variables, we subtract their exponents, and there's the imaginary one that we don't see. So we get f to the 4th, and then if we get 6 minus 6 for the second one, that's t to the 0 power, which is equal to 1, and anything times 1 is equal to itself, so we don't need to include it. So we end up with 4f to the 4th power. So as you can see, it's easiest to just break the equation down and put all the like terms together. So now let's go on to multiplying polynomials. Let's say we have 7a to the 5th times b to the 3rd times 6ab to the 4th. So we know when we're dividing polynomials, we subtract. And what's the opposite of multiplication? It's division, correct? And the opposite of addition is subtraction. So let's put our minds through this. So if we're dividing polynomials, we subtract the exponents, then shouldn't we when we multiply the polynomials, we add the exponents? That is actually correct. So we're just going to break this down once again. 7 times 6 is 42. And then a to the 5th times a to the 3rd. A. So we have 5 plus 1, the imaginary one is there, and we get 6. So it's a to the 6th. So as you can see, we're just going to take the opposite of that. And so it kind of makes sense. Division, subtract. What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. The opposite of subtraction, addition. And then 3 plus 4, 7. So we get b to the 7th. So in this case, our answer will be 42 times a to the 6 times b to the 7th, and we can just write that as 42a 6th b the 7th. Let's do one more multiplying problem before we go into the practice problems that you do all by yourselves. So let's take, this one's going to have bigger exponents. 4z to the 12th x to the 6th times 5z to the 6th times, just x to the 8th. So we're going to want to head and break it down. The coefficients, 4 times 5. So we group those, and we have 4 times 5, which is equal to 20. Now let's take z to the 12th times z to the 6th. In this case, we just like how we would always add the exponents, so we get 12 plus 6, which is equal to 18. And no matter how big the exponents are, you will still end up adding them. And lastly, let's take the x variable, x to the 6th times x to the 8th, and then 6 plus 8 is equal to 14. So in this case, we know that it is x to the 14. And if we put that all together, put all of our parts that we wrote together, we get 20z times z to the 18th power times x to the 14th power, and that's 20z to the 18th times x to the 14th. Now we're going to go ahead and do one practice problem, but it's going to have two problems in it, and I'll give you a minute. So it's 2c to the 4th b squared times 6c squared b. And I want you to multiply these two polynomials. And then for the second part, we're going to do a division problem, and that's 30c d to squared and e to 5th power divided by 10de cubed. And you are going to divide this. I'll give you 1 minute. Did you do it? Let's go ahead and check if you got the right answer. So we're going to start with the multiplication problem. We're going to break it down. We have 2 and 6 as the coefficients, and we're going to multiply those. And then we have c to the 4th and c squared, multiply those, and b squared times b. Those are all like terms, so we multiply them. And 2 times 6 is equal to 12. c to the 4th times c squared. Well, we know it's going to be c to the 4th plus 2, because when we multiply, we add the exponents, so we'll get c to the 6th, and same if we do it to b, we get b cubed, so we'll get 12 times c to the 6th times b cubed, which we can write it without the multiplication signs. And now let's go ahead and do the other one. So if we group this all together, we have 30 and 10, and then we have d squared and d and e to the 5th divided by e cubed. So we'll go ahead and do 30 divided by 10, which is 3, and then d squared divided by d. And remember, when we're dividing, we subtract the exponents. So we'll get just d, because remember the invisible one, we cannot forget about that one. And then we'll do e to the 5th divided by e cubed, which is e to the 5th minus 3, which is e squared. If we put that all together, we just write 3 times d times e squared, which we can write without the multiplication signs. Congrats, you made it to the end of this video. Whether it's you needed help with this concept, you wanted extra practice, or you just wanted to review, I hope you got some extra practice in, or you got some review. And it would mean the world to me if you subscribed and turned on the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. And like this video if you liked it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!